So today we are going to be talking about Stephen Curry. Arguably, you could argue the greatest point guard of all time, for sure, changed the game, best shooter of all time. That guy. More specifically, we're going to be talking about his contract and his extension. So for those of y'all that don't know, not this year, not the end of this season. Actually, it might be the end of this season. I believe he'll be 32 when he can potentially sign this. He can sign a 6-year, 215 million contract. I believe that's correct. Let me just do some quick math on this. But yeah, he signed a pretty big contract. Is what I'm trying to say here. Yeah, so that would be paying him 35 million a year, close to 36 million a year actually. But dude lives in California, so he's gonna be making like 33 million a year. Not a lot of money. Anyways, long story short, Steph Curry could potentially sign a huge extension. Um, yeah, but here's the thing, okay? Traditionally, these older guys that have been with the team for a long time, such as, Tim Duncan, Dirk Nowitzki, here's another example. Not necessarily an older guy, but like Dwayne Wade when the Big Three happened. Those guys have traditionally taken less money in order to win, basically, in order to sign better free agents. Um, and this is an interesting situation for the Warriors because they are a somewhat attractive free agency option. Steve Kerr has looked like a very good coach before. I mean, they do look like a good free agency option, basically. And with Curry having this extension, it would, for sure complicate their cap situation forever. This would probably be the last contract he signs ever, unless they want to bring him back with a 1-year deal for some reason. Um, which they might, obviously, honestly, but basically this would control your cap books for the next century, like not century, but next half a century. A century's 10 years, right? David, let me know in the comments if a century is 10 years, please. um Anyways, so that would keep your cap books full for 6 or so years, right? And that is an issue, obviously, for the Warriors. You're paying an aging superstar. Now, granted, his game does age very well. Shooting is not particularly physical. Curry does not have a lot of athleticism that he relies upon. He relies more upon his, shooting stroke, and that should not disappear with age. Um, so if he were to take this, the interesting thing, so let's say he does take this extension, then they would for sure have to ship out Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, everyone basically if they wanted to get another, max level guy such as we'll say Giannis hypothetically. Um, if they wanted to be the cap in the NBA is very tricky. But long story short, it would have to be Curry, another guy, and more or less minimum level players, right? There will be no third superstar in this situation. Okay. Um, One thing that could possibly go into this situation is that before he has taken a pay cut before to keep Kevin Durant. He has taken a pay cut to keep Klay Thompson. I know for a fact he took a pay cut in 2017. Um, you know, honestly, if I'm Stephen Curry, I'm gonna look at it like this way, okay? You already know the Warriors organization, bearing a major like loses a leg or something like that. You already know they will give him this max contract, right? I mean, obviously they have a reason for that, but more or less, if I'm Curry, I have to look at it and say, hey, I have 3 championship rings, right? Now, granted, however, I have not won a Finals MVP, and at this point, I would argue, and this is definitely debatable, obviously, but the two best point guards of all time at this point are Curry and Johnson, Magic Johnson. And the one thing that's keeping Curry from, reaching that number one conversation is the Finals MVP. That is the one thing he needs. So if I'm Curry and I'm looking at like, hey, I need to secure, the legacy. I want to be the best point guard of all time, which he's already, very close to being. All he would have to do would win a Finals MVP, in my, opinion at least. But that is definitely a topic for another day. But legacy wise, he needs to take a smaller contract. However, if he just wants to secure the bag straight up, if he wants that money, or if he needs that money, hypothetically, I would assume he doesn't. He's got tons of endorsement deals and all that. But if he did need that money, he could take that for sure. And they'd probably still be contenders. But if he wanted to, for sure, not for sure, because nothing is for sure, but if he wanted to have the best chance possible of, you know, contending for the championship, getting the championship, and possibly winning Finals MVP, then he needs to try and get a third superstar, or not even a third superstar, a second superstar, because Thompson would have to leave, or just straight up retire. Um, yeah. So to me, it's a question of if Curry wants legacy, he takes less. He wants bank, he takes more. Obviously. Um, Personally, if I'm Curry, I would say yes. I would go for the legacy deal here. I would take less, try and get another superstar in, Giannis, something like that. And I would just try and compete, try and get another championship. Because if he can win Finals MVP, just one Finals MVP, that would change so much in the best point guard conversation of all time. Um, yeah, that's about it for today's video. Wanted to make this short. I'll probably have a video on James Harden coming out tomorrow, assuming there's no, delays or anything. Uh, Nothing else really I want to make a video on. So y'all, my fans, random people watching this video, let me know if you have any, topics you want me to talk about. I'll do whatever, TBH. Oh, by the way, I haven't said this yet, but if you enjoy daily sports content that includes the NBA, NFL, college football, and college basketball, make sure you subscribe. If you just enjoyed this video in particular, please like the video. Helps me out a lot. Yeah, that's all that good stuff. Y'all have an amazing day.